On this week's episode, we cover the UK's largest money laundering operation and Jeff Bezos' take on AI infrastructure and what kind of companies are going to win this race with AI. We also go into a deep dark hole about AI chatbots and the problems and the need for regulation in the industry. And hold on, did Bitcoin and BNB hit an all-time high? Well, stay tuned and find out more on this week's episode. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the NFA podcast, your almost weekly podcast where we give you all the news, updates, and market insights on emerging technologies. We are your hosts, Nish and Frackers, or Michiel, as he likes to call himself. And the A stands for anyone else who's listening, but NFA also stands for not financial advice. We come up with these cool podcasts once a week, but lately, because of a really cool token launch and a in real life crypto conference, we've been delayed.
So let's start with the news, because there was a lot of news. There's always a lot of news these days, but I think we should start with the news section. Ladies first, what do you have? I'm so curious.
It's been all-time high after all-time high after all-time high, which has been amazing. I am so excited. BNB keeps hitting these all-time highs. It has crossed $1,100. What else? Bitcoin hit an all-time high.
Why
Ethereum.
do you start with BNB? Why do you start with BNB?
Because I love BNB. Because it's literally been like all-time high every day.
So if a meme coin does an all-time high every day, then you love that meme coin. Doesn't matter. Just as long as it hits all-time
high. I've always loved BNB. I've been tweeting about BNB since like 2021. And
why?
I bought my first BNB at $250 and I held on.
So what's good about BNB? Enlighten me.
I just really enjoy the Binance ecosystem. They've solved a lot of issues. Initially, there was a problem of people getting into crypto. They fixed that. Binance has probably one of the easier UIs of an exchange. However, it's still really tricky. But I think that's an industry problem. Either way, their blockchain protocol fixed all the Ethereum gas fees problem. It was the first meme coin layer, really adopted gaming, cheaper transactions. I mean, it was just solution after solution. I wasn't expecting the chart to be this bullish, to be honest, but I'm not complaining.
But from everybody I spoke to, like, you're the only person that didn't start with Bitcoin all-time high over the last 24 hours. You're the first one that goes, yeah, BNB keeps hitting high after high. What do you mean? Bitcoin hit 125K and you're talking about BNB.
That doesn't surprise me anymore. Of course, Bitcoin hit an all-time high.
What do you mean, of course? Why is that so naturally? I don't get that. Why does everybody expect Bitcoin to hit an all-time high again? Because
it's October.
Everybody, why just the October? Where does that come from?
Okay, so historically, Q4 is the best for crypto markets, right? And it all begins with October, followed by a downward September.
Yeah, but September comes after October in your culture?
No, sorry. October follows a downward September. But all of a sudden, everything goes bloop.
What happens in November? That's my question. That's what I'm so curious about. Was there a word for it? November, Snowvember? I have no idea what they're going to come up with.
It's something with an up.
Upvember?
Bullvember.
That doesn't make it. Bullvember? Okay. So that was your big news. BNB had hit an all-time high. So
yes. What's yours?
Well, interesting. I actually had Bitcoin hit an all-time high, but I guess that we don't need to discuss it because that was expected since it's October.
It's October, baby.
So since we're talking about it, so the crypto market is up this week to 4.22 trillion, up from 3.88 last week. Bitcoin is still, although it went down a little from yesterday's all-time high, to still up. It's at 124K as we're filming this. That's up from last week. Ethereum is up 10%. Bitcoin is up 11%. Altcoin season index is 61, down 1 point from last week at 62. I guess because Bitcoin went up so much and the alts didn't go up as much.
Mm-hmm.
But what I find weird, I would love to hear your opinion. The fear and greed index is at 59. But last week, believe it or not, it was at 39.
It's because it's
What is your theory here? I seriously thought there was going to have some fundamental answer. She just goes, it's October.
That's going to be my answer for every...
Yeah, it's going to be, I just go how this podcast is going to go. Someone's giddy. Someone made money, people. This is what happens.
The funny thing is that I was in my workout and then went for my run this morning, and I was thinking, Michiel's going to ask me why everything's up. And all I can say is it's October.
So you knew I was going to ask that question, and that's the only thing you could come up with is it's October.
Yeah, no, I prepared for this.
I was really looking for some more fundamental answers, like interest rate is low. Have you seen the job numbers? Unbelievable.
Well, the Fed cut rates, and we saw stocks and gold skyrocket, but
Yes.
Bitcoin, actually crypto, all kind of fell downwards. And
Which I thought
it's
was weird.
because, well, it was priced in. We knew that we knew that they were going to cut rates.
That's true. Yeah.
It's
and
no
it's only
surprise,
25 basis points.
right?
Yeah.
And then
I
we're
agree with that.
expecting another one this month.
So people are maybe getting ahead of themselves a little bit. I'm thinking if the Fed cuts rates more, which is now expected, that's why crypto's bullish. So that's where I was trying to guide you along with my like suggestive questioning. What do you think is the cause? And I thought you would have said, well, we're expecting another interest rate cut, and therefore the markets are
No,
getting ahead of themselves.
it's
No,
clearly because
October.
it's October.
I'm going to ask you the
October,
next
baby.
podcast. I'm starting a next podcast with your other sister. You know, I'm just going to ask which sister such that is still available to do a podcast to give me some more fundamental answers in my quest for clarity. Okay, that was great. Great analysis. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
It's October, people. You know what would be
This is
funny
why
if we
it's
only...
not financial advice.
Yeah, it's true. It is not a financial advice, clearly. All right, so there was news that's outside of market news, which I had, which is, it's not fun. It's not October, but there's a lot of discussion now finally coming out about the use of chatbots by children. And last week there were a bunch of things that came out at the same time, which are very sad. There was the father of a 16-year-old boy called Adam Raine who committed suicide after talking for months with ChatGPT. And ChatGPT suggested or mentioned the word suicide 1,275 times, talking to a boy that was clearly in pain and suffering. And it is 6 times as much as the boy used it himself. So the testimony that the father gave in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee was really, really powerful because it was very factual. I thought actually the worst part was at the end when he said that when the boy says, if I hang the news out, my parents are going to see it. And then ChatGPT suggested not to show it so his parents wouldn't know, and even suggested to drink alcohol because it numbs the fight against your will for survival at the moment that you're dying. So it's the worst part that we always joke about, that ChatGPT is so willfully sucking up to you and is always so sycophantic. In this case, it just guided the boy towards suicide. So I was really sickened by the fact that I saw Sam Altman in the video talk about his biggest concern about AI is that now financial institutions don't have proper guidance and proper protection anymore because AI has proven it can crack all those kinds of security. And he's talking like a preacher does. And he's doing that whole like empathetic voice. And I'm thinking, dude, you made a product that helps kids kill themselves. I don't
Like,
believe
why aren't you
how...
addressing that?
Yeah, you should address it. So the suicide by Adam Raine was guided or inspired by ChatGPT. And then there was the actor and director Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who recorded this really powerful video where he explains how Meta's chatbot talks to an 8-year-old girl about going to bed, holding your hand, but like in the very sexual, horrific way. And it's unbelievable that Zuckerberg then goes on and goes, I think, ChatGPT or chatbot should be your friend and all this kind of stuff. And it's horrific how sexualized these chats are with young children. And
We
Joseph
spoke about
Gordon-Levitt does
this.
this really good thing about it.
The last episode, we did it about Grok. You remember?
And that was Grok. And now, because of that, I started looking more for it when you said that. And it turns out it's all of them. It's like all these LLMs do these horrific things. And my conclusion is that I really think children should not have access to it. It's really that simple
100%.
because there's no control.
100%. It's so gut-wrenching to think about. You already have these fears as a parent, about your kids getting groomed and the worst possible things. Now imagine you're not scared of people anymore. You're scared of technology, which is in your own home.
Yeah, and that's also exactly what you're saying is what the father of Adam Raine said. He thought it was a study coach. That's what he thought the kid was talking to a study
It's
coach,
just
a helper.
it's so sad. And I was on this AI space and it ended up being a massive panel. We had over 600,000 people tune in. And we were talking about this, the need for regulation with AI, and cases of even pedophilia with AI gets worse and worse. There are people that have taken innocent photos and rendered them into child pornography. Like, the stuff that you see because of AI is just absolutely like gut wrenching. It's terrifying.
And what
It's
I
absolutely
find then so
terrifying.
horrific is that then there's all this regulation against crypto. As an example, in Europe, you can't buy now as a European citizen, you cannot buy USDT. Basically impossible. And this happened, I'm not joking, this happened in Holland last week. The movie Back to the Future, which is a movie from 1985, it's 40 years old. It got a higher rating. From 6 years old, it went to 12 years old, because of those scenes where Marty sits with his mother on the side of the bed and his mother's trying to kiss him as he goes back in time. And he's trying to get his mother to fall in love with what will become his father. So that scene got that movie 40 years after it came out, a different rating from 6 years old to 12 years old. However,
Really?
every kid can get on ChatGPT. The most important things right now, AI is coming out with these chatbots for kids that are all using, and no one does anything.
This whole AI regulation, I feel, is gonna come a bit too late. You know, uh, yeah. I guess we'll have to see how it goes. But you're totally right to compare it to crypto. They've regulated it so stringently. That's all I could say. Did you see that SBF's Twitter account came back to life and
No.
the FTT token pumped 18% because of it?
Which token?
FTT. So FTX, the exchange that collapsed,
Yes.
and the little bubble of magic internet money.
Yeah.
So the founder of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, SBF, his X account came back to life, and he tweeted GM, which is just good morning. And then
From
the
prison.
FTT token pumped 18%. Apparently his friend had his account.
The friend said good morning and the token went up 18%. Well, welcome in crypto.
Yes. And I
Thrilling.
don't know if you saw this woman. She's a Chinese national and based in the UK, and she basically orchestrated fraud in China between 2014 to 2017 and left 128,000 people out of pocket, right? She basically stored all the proceeds in Bitcoin and had, at the time of her arrest, 61,000 Bitcoin, which was worth more than $5 billion at current prices.
Are they gonna give it back to those people? Is it possible that they get the Bitcoin of the money that she stole from them?
No
That would be
idea.
awesome. Then
No
she
idea.
did really great. Then she did a great investment for him.
Yeah.
If she goes to prison, I mean, it would be nice if those people get the proceeds. Do not just their money back, but just get the Bitcoin proceeds from it.
This would make her one of the top 5 wallet holders of Bitcoin in the world.
So how did she commit this fraud? How was she able to do that? I mean,
I don't know. And
anything else?
apparently, after doing the fraud, she fled China on a fake passport, went to the UK, and started working in a Chinese takeaway restaurant, and then flew over her son. And she lived a really modest life, they say. And then all of a sudden, she started driving Mercedes. Then she flew her son over, and put him into a private school, and then moved into a 6-bedroom house. And the police raided her house and found a bunch of wallets that all contained the Bitcoin.
But here's the thing. This kind of news is why regulators are looking at crypto. And then they missed the parts about the AI chatbots from ChatGPT and Meta and Grok being horrific. I mean, that's the damn problem, that these stories are so insane about the crypto world that gets all the focus. And
I know,
it's not
and
going towards
get
protecting kids.
this case is one of the largest money laundering cases in UK history.
So, but one other thing I had just about the token 2049, just to wrap up that news about it. I had a meeting and we're sitting on top of a booth. So there was a staircase going up and we're above this booth. And we thought now we'll be a little more quiet maybe so we can hear each other. And then I hear, and I know it's Formula One weekend, but this sounds close. And every time we hear you're talking, it goes, what's the zip line going by? And then a DJ started, and there's a DJ going, doom, 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 doom. And there's a DJ starting the music up, and there's people fist pumping. And then step number 3, to get it off, I hear, plong, 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 plong. I'm like, what the hell is that sound? Well, they opened up the pickleball court. Next to the zip line was a pickleball court, just across from where we were sitting having a meeting.
Crypto
Where does that
conferences
happen?
are another ballgame. Like, they're just a different level.
Yeah.
They're just different. If you guys have not been to a crypto conference, I highly recommend you do go to a crypto conference, because normally people go for the speakers and, they want to learn stuff. But crypto conferences are the other way, where you don't go for the speakers, you go for the experience. So highly recommend it.
Okay, then talking about speakers, though, I got to say one thing. So Token 2049 had 5 or 6 different stages. At the same time, people were talking. There was no clear indication which track was which, But I went to the one by Donald Trump Jr. People just said, well, Donald Trump Jr. was there, but he actually explained how USD1 worked. And then with World Liberty Finance, which I now also finally understand, that's the governance token of USD1. I think it's also because they haven't had a fair shake by traditional media. And this is not because, again, I'm Republican leaning, or I just think if you look at the coverage about these tokens, that was never in there.
I don't think that they didn't have a fair shake. I think that they didn't know the narrative.
Could be.
Maybe they just didn't do a good job communicating that narrative. But
I think he did good now. Also, one thing, I have a tip for him. I'm not a native English speaker. Again, this is my 4th language, English. But it's not early adapter. He said it several times. And he also said several times he went to Wharton. Someone at Wharton should have told him it's early adopter. You adopt an innovation. You don't adapt an innovation. An adapter is the little plastic piece that you put in the soccer, Donald Trump Jr. And a adopter is somebody that adopts your innovation from the innovation curve by Rogers. So
dear
he was
Donald
doing
Trump Jr., my name
I
is
just thought
Michiel Frackers. English
he
is
did
my
a great
5th
job.
language. I just
He
want to
did a
let you know
great
you
job.
did great. But
He
it's
did great.
adopter, not
It's
adapter.
adopter, not adapter. And every time he kept saying, well, I know guys who went to Wharton with me. He said 3 times he went to Wharton, yet he couldn't say adopter instead of adapter.
Well, never trusting anyone from Wharton again. I saw this piece that Jony Ive and OpenAI may be struggling to figure out their AI device, but turns out it was just clickbait. Because they aren't struggling to do it, they're still, I think it was just to stay relevant in the media. But basically what they're doing now is they're making it on the palm, or the size of a palm. But again, it's a screenless device where you can talk to it and give it commands, but their struggle was that the device didn't know when to stop talking back to you.
Do we want to do markets, or do we do the trading competition?
The trading competition. I think we've covered markets with our news.
Talking about markets quickly, there was one thing I saw which was very interesting, and I highly recommend everybody to watch this. It is Jeff Bezos in conversation with John Elkann, the chairman of Ferrari and the CEO of Stellantis, the car manufacturer from Europe, talking about the AI bubble. And Bezos does a really, really good job. Again, a guy much maligned for many reasons with that stupid rocket of his. But here he has a really good point talking about the AI bubble. And his point was this, that yes, there's a bubble. All these investments are going to all these AI companies. Most of them are going to go to zero. On the application level, he clearly meant OpenAI, but he didn't say it. I still think OpenAI will be acquired by someone for a large sum. Like a Microsoft could buy it for nothing. NVIDIA could buy it for like nothing. So compared to, their market caps, right? They buy them in stock. Long story short, he said in the long run, this AI bubble will burst, but it will be good because the total innovation versus the investment will make sense. And he said that the real winners will be the infrastructure players, which, surprise, Amazon is one of. Since Amazon doesn't have application layer. Yeah, but I do think he has a point. So moving on to the trading competition.
That's
it. Yes, I'm assuming you're winning here. I'm assuming you're winning because you're too happy.
I actually haven't moved anything from the last podcast episode, which was 3 weeks
Really?
ago. Yep. I didn't move anything. I had sold my Blocky and my Aztec and put it into Solana and ETH, and no regrets. That's all. That's all I'm going to say.
Just for the newcomers here on the show. We started with $100 in early June. Nish is now at $167. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, isn't that a thrilling idea to have a trading competition? I am at 142. Since the last recording, I'm up 25.5% and Nish is up 21%. So I'm catching her, albeit at snail's pace. So
Well, you have to give context here because Nish went down to $6 at one point and then bounced up to 240, then went back down to 90 and then bounced up to like 160 and then bounced back down to like 32. And it's just been an emotional roller coaster. So the fact that I'm here right now makes me really happy.
you still talking? I don't know. You lost me there when you went back into the story again, how you went down to 6 and fought your way back. You make it sound like you climbed Mount Everest. This is what you did.
I did.
Click, 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 click. That's what you did. And you make it sound
Actually,
like,
no.
and then
I went on Pump Fun and then was staring at my screen and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And then all of a sudden, floop, got rugged. So yeah. I was thinking about it this morning and, yeah, okay, I've done great with this trading competition. I actually got a message from someone saying, can I send you money and you can trade for me? And I'm like, maybe you should rewind it and watch the episode. So I just want to make it really clear to anyone that's watching. I don't trade. I gamble for this trading competition. And I got lucky. But please don't
and I just want to make clear, I'm the guy that sent her that message. So can you trade for me? So Nish is holding right now. You only have, okay, so you
Solana
have right now
and Ethereum.
Solana and Ethereum. That's what you have in your portfolio. Mm-hmm. Whereas me, being diversified Joey over here, Mr. Smarty Pants, I have 7 different assets. 4 are in traditional tech and 3 are in crypto. So I'm holding Broadcom. I got to say this though, Broadcom, look, I bought this at 242. It's now at 338. So that's good.
Done really well. So why did you buy Broadcom?
Because I'm gambling on AI infrastructure players. Again, I believe in Jeff Bezos' investment theory that the AI winners will be the infrastructure players, at least for now. Because, okay, here's not so much what I think. It's much more what I think other traders think. And that's what we're doing in this trading competition. So I figured people going to think NVIDIA is overrated and it's overvalued. So they're going to go to the next one in the space. They're going to go to Broadcom. And exactly that's what happened. Because these Wall Street guys, if these guys are so good, why didn't they buy NVIDIA 5 years ago? They're so good. You're so good. You know what's going to happen. You think you know the market? Why didn't you buy more NVIDIA? Why didn't you buy more Bitcoin? They're all so smart. Where are they? So anyway, I also have Bitcoin. I bought at 104. It's now at 124 as we're recording. So that was nice. Intel, I figured someone was going to finance them or do strategic partnership because it's too big to fail. It's an American tech behemoth giant. They announced a bunch of partnerships, blah, blah, blah. I bought at 23. It's now at 36. Electronic Arts. Here we go. We're back into the Trump family. I bought it at $23.86. It's now at 36. It went up 54% in 4 months. And it was acquired last week by a group of investors from the UAE under the guidance of Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, also known as Mr. Ivanka Trump. Maybe no one calls him that, but I do. Jared, love you, buddy, because 54% up on EA. Although I must say Intel went up 54%. I take this all back.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah,
Intel went from 23 to 36. Yeah, take a step back. EA went from 179 to 200. 12% up. Jared Kushner, you bastard. You got it too cheap. I never liked you.
Screw you.
Screw you, Jared Kushner. Mr. Ivanka. So he got it on the cheap. Damn it. EA is undervalued. I thought it was undervalued and now they bought it off the market. Okay, went up 12% in 4 months. NVIDIA, as much maligned as it is, 30% up in 4 months. My final tech stock that I'm holding. So I bought it at 145. It's not 188. And then Sui, and that's why where I really wanted to go here with it. Sui, I really believe in. Like, I'm a Sui believer. I got in at 370. 4 months later, it's at 357. It actually managed to go down in the middle of this whole upswing. Sui lost.
It did.
3.51%. What's going on there? I'm so disappointed, like really disappointed.
It's just the lack of momentum. The crypto market is really distracted, right? Everyone moves their liquidity. So people will sell Sui to put it into BNB, and BNB will continue to rally. Or Solana, they'll sell their gains and put into a different token. But it's very like circular. There's not much new money coming in, especially not into the altcoins. And so with Sui, because there's a lack of momentum, the price stabilized, and it has. It's stabilized at around the $350, $360 mark.
But here you look at Solana, however, I got in at 182. It's now at 233. That's a 27% gain in the same period when Sui has lost. And those are competitors, really. So that's why it surprises me that Solana went up a lot. Although before that, Solana didn't go up as much, right? So that's like, it's cyclical, I think. That's, I think, what the problem is, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it appears to be like to me.
Yes and no. Solana has really good institutional backing as well as the meme coin community. And so it has two strong contenders. Sui doesn't have a meme coin community. It's also a completely different wallet. Like, you have to download Phantom in order to even use Sui. There's a lot of hurdles for it. It's technologically just not as integrated into the ecosystem. Because Solana has been around for so long, there are now bridges like Wormhole, and they've just formed their own ecosystem that's just massive on its own. So I mean, we'll see where Sui goes. I'm still hopeful, but I don't hold any more Sui.
For next week in the trading competition, we are going to make a few changes. I'm going to do some acquisitions, and I think you're going to make some acquisitions. So, and you're going to sell some stuff. I guess to buy something, we got to sell other stuff. So exciting! I can tell you're
Exciting
thrilled.
times ahead.
You're a really bad liar. Nish is like half falling asleep. All right, so that's all that we have time for this week. Anything you want to say wrapping up?
I'm looking at what to buy next.
Is that how you do it? You really scroll through it and just pick one?
Yeah, actually. So, like, the lower you go, the higher the risk, but also the higher the reward, right? So
is it the top 100 that you're scrolling through? Yeah, what are you scrolling through,
top 100 on CoinMarketCap, top 100 tokens by market cap.
Is Tracer there already? How far are we? Where are we? What are we doing with Tracer?
A little bit far, but we'll get there.
I like that. All right. So thank you very much for your time this week, lady. We'll talk again next week, and then we will see who does better in the trading competition. And I hope for...
Sounds like a plan.
I hope for stability in the market and no like really weird corrections. I still think it's a nervous market. Still think so. Look at gold. If you look at how high gold is, that indicates people don't have strong beliefs. You know what I mean? Everybody's sort of gambling, but they're hedging with gold. So I may move into the gold space.
Rallying. It's not full altcoin season yet. We'll see where this goes over the next couple weeks. But who knows? And what's so funny? BNB might just be the Ethereum killer that no one saw coming.
We'll talk about it next week because maybe I will buy some BNB because you made such a strong case about it. All right, thanks very much. What is this? So you basically talk something up and I start buying it and then you just laugh and go, I bought some, I bought ASDAQ. And then you kill me with ASDAQ or some other.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week, hopefully.